For those wanting to clean your bearings, which you might want to do, well, let's say every 2 weeks or so, or if you hear some bearing noise, it might be a good idea to go ahead and clean your bearings. This is what this video is going to be detailing. So if your handpiece is here, the seam that we have to get access to is this seam right here. So we're going to grab on with a pair of pliers here and onto the twist string, and then we're going to unscrew the front portion of that handpiece. So I'll grab here, grab your other pliers here, and you want to unscrew. All right. Sometimes it's kind of tight, so really give it a little bit of force. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to do that a little bit again. That was a good thing for you to see. Grab onto the twist string now. I put down the pliers and just loosen that up. If you rotate your twist string, at times you'll loosen the tension and you can more easily get off the front portion of the handpiece. Now try and hold everything together because it's spring loaded, so if you're not holding this, it could shoot off and a lot of your pieces could be all over the place. So I'm maintaining a pressure on it, keeping it down. So now it's basically released. I'm going to pull the front nose cone off. I can leave all that behind, put it in a safe place, and then I'm going to pull the spindle assembly out, and on the spindle assembly are your bearings here and here. You can take this whole assembly and drop it into, let's say, some simple green into an ultrasonic cleaner. Give it about 5 minutes. You can give it more if you want, and rotate your bearings, pull it out, rotate your bearings. You can put it back in, but your bearings should feel pretty smooth. If there's anywhere, they'll start to feel a little bumpy. So once it's out of the simple green solution, you can get some keyboard cleaner, or if you have, better yet, compressed air. You can then inject your compressed air into the bearings, basically trying to blow the simple green out of the bearings, and you'll hit it from both sides. When you think most of the liquid is out of the bearings, you can then get some WD-40. The purpose of WD-40 is it displaces liquids, so this is really good at getting the rest of the moisture out of the bearings. And shoot that into the bearings, the front and back. You can shoot from this side. And then once you think it's really well lubricated, you just start moving things around so that WD-40 is everywhere. Once it's everywhere, once again, get your keyboard cleaner or compressed air and shoot it into your bearings. You're just trying to take away a lot of the WD-40 liquid and leave it just a very fine film over top of the bearings. And the last step really at this point, if you just want to wipe it off with a paper towel or tissue, that'll tend to make it less liquidy and dry it off quite a bit. And then you'll take your bearing spindle once again, you'll put it into the front end. This whole assembly here, if this pulls out, you can put it into the front end like that, and then you'll just screw these back together. Make sure they're lined up. You don't want to cross thread anything. There you go. Last thing to do, obviously, is I just want to check to make sure that the collet mechanism is opening and closing okay, and it is. And I'm going to do just a final tightening. Grab onto the twist ring once again in the front portion here, and just turn it so it locks down, and give it a nice tight turn a couple times, just so that if you try to turn it by hand, it doesn't come off just by hand.